folks, we're going to be just a couple of minutes, 2 minutes away from 7 p.m. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be going live at 7. Just a quick note to say we will be going live at 7, around about 90 seconds from now. So you can really get a longer timer than I have. I do see some of you have tuned in early, so let me just switch to me anyway. Let's get rid of this countdown because there's more than 10 seconds. Okay, let's get that video out of the way. 2 seconds here. I think we're looking good. Almost there. Okay, that's as professional as it's going to get. "45 seconds. We ready? I should put the timer on now because that's a 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, 7 o'clock. Hey folks, welcome to the monthly masterclass. Great to see so many IT Rockstars members here today. Really appreciate the live turnout. I know it's it's difficult time of day, 7 p.m. GMT for a lot of our US customers. It's middle of the day, they're busy. UK customers, they're beat for the day and they just want to relax. And then our Australian customers, I think they're potentially still in bed. So probably a little bit awkward, these live ones, but obviously they're live just now, but you can watch them anytime. They're up online for the month. But I can't believe it's March already. It has really rolled around really quickly. A lot of changes here at IT Rockstars. Awesome changes that are good. What we're going to be discussing tonight is the new services that we're offering at IT Rockstars. So if you don't already know, we've been in business for just over a year, providing this content to you guys and girls that run your own IT businesses. So we're going to kind of go over some of the new services, and we've also got a little session on email marketing. So we've had a number of members that have asked around about email marketing. So the content that you get every month that you're posting out onto your LinkedIn, out onto your website, where else can you use that content? Well, one of the best places is obviously email. So I'm going to run through some pro tips on email marketing and a little backstory to email marketing as well. So I'll start off with the new services first. There is some news as well. As part of these services. The reason these services are starting, they started just about a week ago, a little bit of a soft launch on them. Haven't really published them anywhere. So you are the first to know really about these new services that we're offering. So we've obviously got our standard membership that you get your 4 blog posts every month, white label content, that premium white label content, the explainer video, and the lead magnet. What we've found with that, whilst we've got a number of members that, hold on a second here. We've got a number of members that use that content really well. And then there's certain members that have questions about the content, like how it should be used, which we hope to cover. There are other members that just don't have the time to actually post out the content. So this is the main reason why we've introduced these new services, because whilst we're bringing this awesome content every month, you maybe don't have the capacity to actually post it out. You maybe don't have an internal marketing person or an admin person to post it out. So combined with what's happened at IT Rockstars, kind of our big news, we have launched these 2 new services. So without further ado, these are the 2 new services. So it's a done for you membership. which I'll go into detail on this. And then there's a VIP membership. Now, it probably makes sense. I will send this out on an email as well. But if I bring up the IT Rockstars website, I'll show you exactly what these services are, and I'll break them down for you guys and girls. So these are the pricing. Now, there's obviously the standard membership at the moment that you're paying for. It's $124.99 a month, around about £96 UK sterling. Done for you membership is $249.99. Now, that includes your standard membership, so you're getting access to that content that you already have. What the done for you services, we will provide social posts for you. So we will get hold of your LinkedIn credentials, your Facebook credentials, and we'll post up this content to your either your company page or preferably your own personal LinkedIn page. We'll post this up. We'll customize it with graphics and with some description in the post linking back to your website. So we'll post up the social posts that link to the content on your website. We'll also post up the content to your website. Obviously, there's a few credentials that we require for it to do all of this. But we'll do that once a week, and we'll post up that content for you. So it means that you're going to get the maximum bang for buck you can with this content. So maybe you've had a really busy week and you just haven't had time to actually post out the content. We will do that for you. The other thing that we included with it is the article publishing. So that is putting it on the website. We also do scheduled emails for you as well. Now, the scheduled emails will be a weekly email kind of detailing the content, kind of summarizing what the content is with a link back to your website to the content. So if you don't already have an email platform, we'll probably just put it on MailChimp for you. We do require an email list. I'm going to show you actually later on in this masterclass how to make that email list. So that's the done for you membership. The VIP membership is a little bit more expensive, but within that you're going to get a lot more. So we will do the prospecting for you. So you've obviously got some prospects potentially at the moment that you're wanting to work with locally. We will connect with them on LinkedIn. We'll also do a little bit of research about the types of businesses that you work with. So that basically is providing us with a list of companies that you're maybe already doing business with. We'll match up to other similar businesses locally, and we'll find the IT decision makers within those companies, and we'll connect with them on LinkedIn for you. The goal with this service is we'll connect with 100 contacts within a quarterly period. So every 3 months, you'll have 100 new contacts on your LinkedIn network that will start to see your content, okay? As part of this, when that content is going out there, we will also run a managed retargeting for you. So on Facebook, we'll run a managed retargeting service. So if anyone lands on your website, we will run ads. I think it's $200 worth of ads we will provide. It's included in this price. So it basically means that if anyone lands on your website, they will start to see your adverts on Facebook. We will create the ads for you. In addition to all of that, we'll also create a quarterly prospects list. So that 100 customers that we will, connections that we'll connect with, they will form the quarterly prospects list. Now, those prospects will be warmer to you. And this is the whole process that we teach already, but we're just going to do parts of the service for you. And your job really at that point with those prospects is actually to pick up the phone and start speaking to them and try and get those meetings. So that's the two new services. That if I were to, now we have over, I think we've got over 50 members now. We're hovering around 45 to 50 members. I couldn't do all of this myself. IT Rockstars, we do have a number of VAs. However, this is important. These aspects to your business, and they really have to come off well. So we're actually outsourcing this to one of the team members here at IT Rockstars. That team member just happens to be my wife, Jackie. So we did send out an email back in February just stating that Jackie's now on board as an IT Rockstar. She's providing support, admin support. She will also be doing this service for you. So Jackie is going to be doing this for you. Very hands-on. You'll love Jackie. I certainly do. So that's why this service has come about, because we had members kind of asking us. They just didn't have time. But now we have this service that we can offer. So that is the sales pitch over. Let's get on to the actual Masterclass. Okay, so let's just actually, obviously the hook. So if you are wanting to go ahead with one of these services, let me know. Hit the button down the bottom right of the in the VIP portal, that chat window, and create a chat, and then we can go from there. I will get an instantaneous message. If you have any questions, if you're watching live, just hit that chat. We will answer them at the end of this masterclass. And if you're not watching live, if you're watching this recorded, just hit the chat. We will get back to you on that as well. So let's get on with the juice here. Email marketing. Now, the backstory to email marketing. I don't like email marketing, okay? I'll be honest with you. Now, the reason I don't like email marketing is because I get too many emails. And the last thing I want is more emails, marketing emails. So I'm thinking, well, I would just piss people off if I start marketing them via email. So you know, as a member, that I don't do that many emails really. When you first sign up to IT Rockstars, you enter a sequence, but I limit the emails to like once a week, if that. I'm a very low touch when it comes to email. So in your IT business, you might be doing some email marketing, you might not be doing any, or you might be like me, it might just be now and again when you have time or when you think you've got something to say. But over the last 4 months, 5 months, I have been testing email marketing. So my view on email is that I get too much of the email. I don't want to be doing emails. A lot of people ignore emails now. I mean, I'm sure you've had this happen to you this week or last week when you've sent someone an email, they haven't replied back to you, and you've had to follow up with a reminder email to say, hey, did you get my last email? Or just reminding you about this. That's one of the reasons I try and stay away from emails. However, with that being said, the test that we've been running with emails at IT Rockstars, it actually still works, email. People do still pay attention to their email, shock horror. So you will have seen that I have been posting out more regularly myself to email. And there's some best practices that you can employ as an IT business owner if you do go down the route of email marketing. Now, obviously, you have access to this content every month from IT Rockstars, and you can repurpose that content in any way that you want. We have some members that actually create the content, well, they copy the content into a printed newsletter and they mail out the printed newsletter. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you start doing that. That's maybe something, if you have the resource that can take care of that. But email is definitely one of the places that you can repurpose the content, and it gets that web traffic back to your website. So if you are running retargeting, Facebook retargeting or something like that, you can direct people, you can direct traffic to your website and then get them to consume that content, but you can also remarket to them. The big problem with this, obviously, is the fact that you need a list in the first place. So on my bullet points here, I think that is the last one down here, actually how to build a list. So I'm going to kind of give you some best practices on building a list. But there's a couple of things that I would just like to cover in regards to email marketing are best practices. So the first one is plain text emails. Now, what do I mean by plain text emails? Let me bring up one here. So this is an email that I prepared a little while ago. I think it was start of the year that went out. And this is my MailChimp account, no, not MailChimp, sorry, Active Campaign that I use. And this is the email that I sent out. It's plain text. It's rich HTML, but there's no heavy graphics. It's not templated. It is literally really just a text email with maybe a bit of colors and some emojis in there. I suggest that if you're sending out emails on a sort of weekly basis with your content, that you stick to plain text or HTML like this. The reason for that is because you will get better engagement. So if you send out a template with lots of fancy graphics and a really nice looking email, something that maybe get a graphics designer to post out, it will get less engagement. You can run these tests yourself, but if you post out plain text like this, you're going to get better engagement on the emails. Specifically, if you're linking out to an actual website or somewhere like that in the email, you'll get far better click through rate. Now, most people, when they're opening their emails, they're looking, when this is a subconscious thing, they will bypass quite often the email marketing emails because of that high graphics. It looks like an advert. It probably is an advert. it just gets less engagement. It's a basic rule of email marketing. That's why we choose this. People are more, I'm using the wrong terminology here, but they expect, when they've got an interesting email, they expect it to be in plain text. Usually if they're speaking to a friend, a contact, a business associate, it's going to come through in plain text like this. So that's the first tip. Send it in plain text like this. I also increase the size of my text. So I've bumped up the text size here. And the reason that I do that is because most people get emails on their devices. So if you've got the text bumped up a little bit, it means people don't have to zoom in. They can see the text there on the device. It's just easier to consume. The second tip with email is if you are linking to your website, so maybe you've got a summary of the content from IT Rockstars in the email, what you're discussing, or maybe just even the headline of the content, and you've got a link in there to your website. In this example, we're linking out to a video. You should, I suggest that you actually describe where you're linking to, okay? So in this example here, I'm linking out to a video. It says, after spending a whopping $25 on Facebook ads, the result was 16 leads, all of which I'll be following up with. So here's the video. So I create a video all about this $25 ad spend on Facebook. But I mention in the actual description to the link where the link goes. So Facebook video link. And the reason that I mention where the link goes to in the email is because it gives people an expectation of where they're going to be taken to when they click the link. And that again helps for a smooth experience when it comes to consuming the content. If I were just to, here's a link to the video, and if I just directly link to Facebook without mentioning that it's a Facebook video, people will maybe get thrown off a little bit on their device. They're on there, they click the link, and it goes, oh, I'm in Facebook. Again, this is more a mind thing that it can throw the person off that's reading the email. So it's just another tactic. It's something that's been tested. It is a best practice when it comes to not only email describing where you're actually linking to, but actually on your website as well. So if you've got a link going out to somewhere like Microsoft or another website, actually tell them where they're going to be taken to in the content. It works really well. Okay, last thing on this email marketing one is creating the list. Hold on here. That's not my browser. 2 seconds. Here we go. So yeah, building the list. Now, the platforms that I've used, MailChimp is pretty much a standard. It's free of charge. You can do quite cool things with the MailChimp free account. I think at the moment it's about 2,000 contacts before you have to start actually paying for MailChimp. So you can do a lot of what you need to do in regards to email marketing on somewhere like MailChimp. So that includes automations. So entering people into a sequence, so they maybe sign up for your emails and you can send them out a sort of nice welcome package of emails that go out once every couple of days. Those automations, they're part of the package at MailChimp. You can also create different lists and different audiences, depending on what type of email lists that you're wanting to create. The biggest thing, obviously, is not really about the platform. I personally use ActiveCampaign. Slightly easier to navigate to than MailChimp. I switched over to it about a year ago. ActiveCampaign is fairly low cost. I think it's like $11 a month, but there's some quite cool things that you can do with it that, again, I've only scratched the surface with. But building a list. So my list is around about 500 contacts on it. It's not massive. That includes the members at IT Rockstars. But if you're starting from scratch, the first thing that I suggest that you don't do is just take a list of business cards or contacts that you already have in your Outlook and then just adding them to a list. That's the worst thing to do. Now, the reason that I say that is people are not expecting to be added to an email list. They haven't opted into that email list. So the last thing that you want to do is manually add them into the email list. Whilst you maybe have best intentions with it and you're providing awesome IT Rockstars content that they can consume, it is not a good practice to be adding people into an email list. And the reason that I say that is because, as you already know, people get too many emails in the day. So you're maybe scratching your head then that you've got all of these all of these contacts, this network, existing customers as well. How do you go about building your list if you're not going to manually add them in? Well, you actually get them to add themselves in by themselves. You ask them if they, you ask them to be added in. Now, the way that you do that, you have to go into MailChimp, build out a form. I can show you what this looks like on Active Campaign. We have a button here, Forms, and you can embed these forms on your website. So I've got a few here. So I've got a form for it when anyone adds in, buys my book, Bear Attack SEO for Managed Service Providers. And basically there's a URL in that book, and anyone that's interested in receiving more information about the book can add in there. Now it says there's only 9 entries there, but there's actually a lot more than that. I was running this on MailChimp before I switched over to Active Campaign. We have another one here, subscribe to a list. I'm not entirely sure what that one was for, but we've got the website sidebar. So that is, I'll show you what that looks like here on the IT Rockstars page. And basically what you're wanting to do is really model what I've got here. So in my blog here, I've got a sidebar, and it is basically, this is obviously aimed at IT businesses, and I'm providing keywords for IT businesses, but this is an Active Campaign form, and this adds people into my email list. So you want to potentially create something like this on your own website where that you can capture anyone that's landing on your website with the form. You can also have these embedded in the content as well. So I think with this one here is I've got a content, I've got a content upgrade. So in the content here, people can actually, there's a download section where they can download some more information related to this content. So what we'll probably do as part of our content at IT Rockstars is we'll probably include these content upgrades. So this could potentially be how you would actually set up the lead magnet on your website. And again, what you're doing there is you're building that list. The sooner that you do it, the better. I remember when I first created the IT Rockstars website, it was the very first thing I did was I created a sidebar with the email form, and then there was obviously another couple of lead magnets in my content as well. And it has paid off because I will show you the stats here. You can I'll blur these names out after the live event's finished. But these are all people that have added themselves to my, I'm going to just move that out, that down there, that have added themselves to my email list. So it's actually sitting at 458. So not far off that 500 mark that I mentioned. But that is literally just people coming to the website and adding in. And obviously if you're posting on LinkedIn and you're connecting with your ideal clients and they're coming to your website, there's potential that a percentage of those people are going to start filling out that email form, and you build up the list. The other thing you can do is actually just add people. I will ask people if they'd like to be added and direct them to the actual form. So that is pretty much what I want to cover tonight. I hope it was useful. And one thing that I did miss actually, before I finish here, is the link descriptions. So this is based on the link descriptions. So excuse me whilst I go back to this, because I did want to cover it because it's quite important. So let me go back to campaigns here. This one here. Sorry about this. So I've obviously got a link to this Facebook video in the email, but one of the things that you must test, as I mentioned, a lot of people, they're going to get the email on their phone, but when you click that link, now this has probably happened to you when you click a link on an email, say like a Facebook link or a LinkedIn link, it will go to the browser and not the app. That is so annoying because when you click on the link, you're taken to the Facebook website, but in the browser, or the LinkedIn website, but in the browser, and it usually means that you're not signed in. It's not taking you to the app. So again, that's something that doesn't flow that well. So there's actually generators out there that will create the right type of link for you. They will check. Let me bring it up here if I can find it. 2 seconds. I did have it here before we started. Really bad of me. I don't have it now. Well, maybe, hold on a second here. Go back. It's maybe on here. No, it's not. Yeah, so there are websites that will generate, they basically check to see what browser or what device the user is using, and they will send them. So if you're on the desktop, it's just going to send you to the normal link. If you're on iOS, it sends you to the iOS app, or if you're on Android, it'll send you to the Android app. So there is actually websites. I'll include that in below the link to those generators, but they're really useful so that when someone's consuming your emails, they're taken to the app and not the website if they're on the mobile. That is it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video, this masterclass. I would love it if you go to our forum and start posting in there with any questions that you might have based on this. So you can click on forums here. It is looking a little bit bare at the moment. I'm going to have to do some work with this. I literally just launched this recently. So a lot of the posts are myself. But if you have any questions at all, put them in the forum here, and I will crown whoever posts first with some sort of special title within the IT Rockstars forum. So you can get to the forum via the link there on the left-hand side that says forums. That's it, folks. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll catch you again later. Thanks.